Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at another episode of Hades 1. Today we are going to be running the aspect of Nemesis on the sword. We're going to be taking Aphrodite's keepsake to try and get her attack and start building towards Heartrend. The way the aspect of Nemesis works is after using our special, we have a brief period of time where we get a 30% crit chance. Which means if we can get Heartrend, which boosts our crit chance damage even further, we're going to be hitting pretty chunky damage hits. We're going to take 3 levels of Jury Summons, 3 levels of Extreme Measures, maxing out Benefits Package Middle Management, and 1 level of Tight Deadline to meet our 17 Heat Bounty. Let's get this run started and see where it goes.
You seem like you could use a helping hand there, love.
Always, let's see. Oh, and she gives us the best attack stat we could ask for. 95% damage increase on the attack means we're already set for pretty high damage numbers. Now, I will admit the sword is probably my worst weapon. The way we want to play the sword, in particular Nemesis, is you want to dash strike. The reason for that is not only does it give you the most damage compared to the triple hit attack, it keeps you moving, so you're more likely to dodge. Dionysus doesn't really fit into the build plan I'm planning. I want Aphrodite, Artemis for sure. Actually, who do I want beyond that is a good question. I suppose I could make an argument for maybe Demeter just for some safety if I can slow enemies down, just to add a little level of consistency to my damage and make it easier to get status privilege, since Artemis's Hunter's Mark is amazing, but very hard to really reliably keep on an enemy for the damage buff that status privilege provides. So yeah, I honestly wouldn't turn down Demeter here. Let's see, what do we got? HP or Palm? We'll go for the Palm and get some damage up on the attack. But really all we need is stacking Artemis as much as possible. Another argument we could make is for Zeus. We get his Call, and then we get a nice, juicy amount of... we could go for Billowing Strength, which if we use our Call, grants us some percentage increased damage for a period of time, I think about 10 seconds. But that damage isn't anything to laugh at. Really, the thing that we're looking for the most is a specific hammer. I think it's called Double Edge Hammer, which makes our dash strike hit twice, which literally doubles our damage. And that is where the strength of any sword build comes from, if we can get that. I could take the champion rune, or I could take 10 coin from the gems. We need darkness, and a higher tier darkness means we'll get more of it at once. And it was a fountain chamber, so never punished. Not that I really needed the fountain, but I appreciate the notion. You know what, let's take Athena here. Athena will give us an extra layer of defense as well. We'll probably take her... I don't know if I want to take her dash, but exposed damage isn't bad. Yeah, I think part of the issue is because I don't play the sword that often, I'm just not well practiced in using dash strikes while maintaining a defensive movement. I am very prone to getting hit while using the sword. Is definitely an issue that, you know what, well, that's what these sort of runs are for. They're to practice. We get better, and we get more consistent. And if nothing else, we're one-shotting enemies in Tartarus, which is good.
Strength and wisdom guide you from the darkness, Zagreus.
Aye, Athena. Let's see, what do we got? Special, Holy Shield, Sure-footing. So I need to remember that I want Artemis. I don't need her on my special, and taking Athena's special on the would give me kind of a defensive tool. So I think I like that, since I kind of want to keep the dash open for Artemis, honestly. Maybe I take Demeter's Call, or I could take Demeter's Cast. I mean, Glacial, what is it? Crystal Beam isn't really that amazing, but if I can get Glacial Glare, at least I'll reliably be chilling enemies while using it, probably. I could buy that Centaur Hurt, but I think I'm going to sit on it for now. We'll likely get more HP as the run goes on, and I'm not feeling like I'm hurting that bad to stay alive. That will likely change once we get to Elysium. I don't imagine me go, especially like enemies like Chariots and Shielders. I imagine I'm going to have a little bit of an issue playing against them. But with that kind of in mind, oh yeah, we're critting up to 239 damage now. Oh, I guess that was a back attack because it looks like it's closer to the 194 that we're getting facing them. Yeah,
I'll take it.
The triple strike on the sword, it's just, especially as you get into higher heats, it's not reliable because the time it takes you to get all 3 strikes in, especially on a slower sword like Arthur, which I learned very painfully in my first run, actually my first 2 runs with it, it's just, you're more likely going to die because the time it takes to get 3 hits in, you're getting hit, especially if forced overtime is on, which, if you've seen this series, you know I'm not I don't think anyone is the biggest fan of making enemies attack and move faster. I can manage it on some builds, especially ranged builds. Give me the rail and I'm fine. But poof, is it rough when you what's the word? When you run forced overtime on melee builds.
The power of the gods.
We'll keep stacking up the attack because that's where all our damage is going to be coming from. There's Zeus. But here's the question: do I take that Zeus boon and lock him in, Or do I hold out just in case we can see Artemis? Because I don't want to lock... I don't want to lock us out of getting Artemis. That's kind of the whole point of this build. Yeah, I think probably the best route to go is let's go for the shop here. That is a nice looking Zeus boon, but if I take Artemis, Athena, I'll take either Zeus or Demeter. I just don't want to... If we get forced into a fourth god in Tartarus, I'm going to be very sad. So we'll hold out for a little bit longer. Oh, there's Demeter, but kind of the same deal. I don't want to get forced... Oh, yeah, I don't want to lock in a third god and then get unlucky with a fourth. So do I buy a palm here? I may as well buy the palm. Well said, Charon. Let's buy the palm, get a little bit more. That's another 10% damage on the attack. Our attacks are going to be hitting pretty hard, especially if we crit, which will be really nice.
I see you, Sneak.
I think I can probably reflect these projectiles. Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. Unless he goes for melee attacks. Or gets stuck behind a wall again. Ugh. Not the cleanest sneak, but didn't take that much damage.
I stab you.
He gets it. Zagreus gets it. Lightning Flash. Your abilities that deflect can also make foes exposed. 63% more bonus damage. And I think we'll take that. The reason for it is, well, it's going to get a status privilege now. I hit something with a special, we hit something with the attack, and now I'm dealing 40% more damage. Not going to complain about that at any point. And you know, it's not, since I'm using the Dash Strike, it's not that hard to reliably get back attacks. And similarly, if we do go to the route of Demeter, I'll be behind enemies I'll slow enemies down and they'll turn around a lot slower, which means the back attacks will be fairly easy to pull off in a reliable fashion. Oh yeah, I'm still definitely getting used to using Dash Strikes appropriately. We are about to see our first hammer, which means we could see our damage effectively double, which is really exciting, but probably not going to happen. We've had so many good RNG runs. We're certainly due for bad RNG at this point. I guess this guy's just gonna get popped with that bomb. Oops. All right, Shadow Slash. You deal 200% more damage from striking foes from behind. Piercing Wave. Piercing Wave is decent because it just gives an extra 30. It gives us an extra 30 base damage, which isn't bad. Shadow Slash I could make an argument for if we are going to go for back attacks. It's just I'm not reliable at landing back attacks. It could make a difference. That's a lot of damage. I think I'll go it. It may not be consistent like Piercing Wave is, but it will, when it works, give us a lot. You know what? I'm going to buy the Cyclops Jerky. It's 40 coin and it's a temporary buff, but it is going to make Mega the Fury Sisters a lot easier to deal with. So for a moment, I saw a room full of witches and was like, oh, this is going to be rough. And then I remembered, I have Athena's special, which means this is going to be very easy. We don't even need to go in and to attack range. We just spam special and watch them kill themselves. Easy peasy. And because they're the clone spawning sort, we can do that even faster than normal, because the clones also fire projectiles that get just insta-pop the enemies. Alright, I'm starting to get kind of the muscle memory for it. I still don't feel great about it, but if nothing else, this room is going far better than it would have if I didn't have Aphrodite. I didn't have Athena's special. Ooh, okay. Ooh, yeah, I'm into this. I'm into this. I can do this. That extra 200% damage on backstabs, though, I'm feeling it. I'm enjoying it. It's feeling good. Feeling good. All right, another palm. We're definitely gonna start seeing diminishing returns on our attack at this point. But
the power of the gods.
It's still 7%. We're continuing to see that trickle up. If we're lucky and we don't see too many more boons and we get a Eurydice room, that Heartrend is, or that attack is going to get upgraded further.
How many times is it going to take, Red Blood? How many? Tell me, how can you stand running into me like this over and over?
I think there is no limit.
Well, habits can be hard to break. As for how many times, I've really no idea. Though I guess there's one way to find out.
I'll give you one thing. I like it when my prey bites back. Come on, let's see some blood again.
You do have to think about it from the perspective of the bosses, especially, that this must be kind of demoralizing to just repeatedly lose over and over again. I mean, if you're going to give me some free damage, I'll do this. Oh, hold on. As usual, I maintain the idea that Electo is honestly the hardest of the Fury Sisters for me to deal with. It may not be the hardest, I don't know. I don't think it's Meg. I think Meg is easily the easiest of the three. I feel like I'm pretty consistent about Tisiphone too. As long as I'm not running a melee build where her projectiles can be a real problem, I feel like Tisiphone really isn't that hard either. I think it's mostly Electo, honestly, that I have the most struggle against. I got stuck in that loud. Oops. Gonna bail out so I don't get hit by that. Since we have the special, I may as well get the extra damage it gives.
Now you've done it.
All right, we're on the final phase, which means we're gonna go ahead and give her a Sisyphus.
You need
Sisyphus? What? What did I say there? All right, there we go. Easy Furies. Definitely more damage taken than needed, but we have the fountain waiting for us upstairs. And also, we don't even need it because Sisyphus heals us. Like, eventually I will switch to Meg's Chthonic Keepsake. The only reason I'm maintaining Sisyphus is because he gives a little bit of coin, he gives a little bit of darkness, and we need those. Like, objectively speaking, Meg's Keepsake is
Got to keep going.
impressively strong. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take the Adamant Arrowhead to get Artemis on the field and get her dash. And then we'll be set for getting Heartrend. Final god will be between Zeus and Demeter unless someone forces their way in which case I will make icky sounds and be upset, but we'll live. On to the next floor.
We go then.
It's kind of wild to think that we are just gradually ramping up our difficulty and making it. We're almost at 20 heat for every weapon except for the spear because the Dark Thirst refuses to give me spear runs. Doesn't look like we've got any coin pots here, so starting off Asphodel with a gem. Woohoo! It's going to make or break our run for sure. All right. Hopefully we see the Witch's mini boss. I love the Witch's mini boss when I am running a when I have any sort of reliable Athena reflecting ability. It's so funny to just watch all of their projectiles get reflected. Oh, while we're here, I should mention we're going to start seeing Hermes boons almost inevitably, so it's worth mentioning another really good boon that we want is, well, of course, rush delivery from Hermes, but also more dashes. More dashes means more dash strikes, which means more damage. So if we're not offered greater haste or hyper sprint, we'll go for greatest reflex if it's offered. If none of those are offered, we cry and reroll. And if none of those are still offered, we just cry. We just cry. Would you stop camping? I think she's kind of clipped into the wall. I can't hit her. I actually, there we go. Okay. That was really cheap. And she drops, and it dropped the gems in the lava too, so I had to take a little bit of extra damage. That's so rude. That's not the first time that's happened in a run in recent memory, which is not a great feeling. Yeah, like it's weird. We're getting locked into another weird backstab build, which is kind of whatever to me. But what it means ultimately is we can see some big numbers. We're already up to 386 on our max hit, which I don't know. I have genuinely overall negative opinions on the sword, mostly because I'm not good at using it, and I acknowledge that, but it is the closest range weapon aside from the gauntlets, and the gauntlets make up for it because they're so much faster. You can get your damage in and dip out, and the gauntlets have, because they hit so fast, you can get some really strong builds going with pretty much every option. You can do percent modifiers to get the base damage up, and that seems to add up to a lot very quickly. But the
message for you, cuz it says take one. It's free. Enjoy.
The fixed damage ones are also really strong. All right, there's Greatest Reflex or Swift Strike. I guess we'll take it. It's a low tier Greatest Reflex, but it is one more dash, and can't complain too much about that. There's Eurydice, which means she could hit Greatest Reflex. She could hit Blinding Flash, and she could hit these two. So we have a 2 and 4 chance, a 1 and 2 chance of getting an upgraded rarity on the attack, which I think is well worth potentially upping our damage. Alternatively, we do take the increased rarity, a high rarity dash strike.
All's well in Asphodel, your royal majesty. You take care of yourself. I'll be here.
A high rarity dash strike plus any legendaries or duos that we could lock ourselves into potentially from this would be really good. By taking Refreshing Nectar, the next 3 boons have increased rarity. I don't know, like, what is it worth? Is it better? I mean, we already have a epic level Heartbreak strike. We don't really need to upgrade that more, right? We could better set ourselves up for the rest of the run by taking a higher boon rarity. I don't know. I don't know, like, what's the math on this? Is it better to upgrade a boon or lock ourselves into a better thing later? It's probably the latter. It's probably Refreshing Nectar, but Ambrosia Delight is just more fun, right? Man, I'm talking myself out of taking it because it logically makes sense that Refreshing Nectar, I mean, this is a chance. I could miss getting it on the attack. Taking this, I mean, it doesn't guarantee us a boon, but we get to choose from 3, which better guarantees us to get what we want than this. That's my logic. At the end of the day, my Heart of Hearts says Ambrosia Delight. Let's see if we roll it.
All yours.
We did not, but we get a 4th dash, so woohoo. And we deal more backstab damage, woohoo. Yep, alright, lesson learned. Refreshing nectar next time.
Away we go.
Because here we get Artemis, which means she's going to give us... she's very likely going to give us her dash strike. She has a lot of boons she can give on the outset. Pressure points, exit wounds. She could give us... hold on. Not get hit by the bomb. She could give us her cast or her call just as much as she could give us her dash. We will re-roll for her dash if we're not offered it, mind you. I wonder if it would have been worthwhile to have re-rolled the Hermes boon for a chance at greater haste or hyper sprint to get rush delivery potentially on the table, because we may have seen greater reflex down the road. I don't know. Realistically speaking, I should not be taking any damage from these guys because I can just reflect away their projectiles. But that is the consequence of giving at least some sort of meaningful commentary while also playing. You get distracted a little bit. Also, can't stop myself from taking damage on lava if I'm standing on top of it. All right, Artie, what do you got?
You busy, Zagreus? Thought maybe I could interest you in some of these old hunting tricks of mine.
High tier dash strike? Nope, not even close. Pressure points is worth taking, though. Rare tier pressure points I will gladly take. Although we do really want to set ourselves up for... I have 4 rerolls. I'm going to reroll once. I want that pressure points, but I think it's better to try and set ourselves up for Heartrend if possible. And there it is. Epic tier dash strike plus 70% more damage on dash. Heck yes. Okay. You know, one thing I wish is that we could reroll hammers. I kind of understand why they didn't, because hammers are like very make or break run sort of boons. So I understand why maybe that we shouldn't have... We already can reroll the god boons. I don't know. I do wish you could reroll hammers. It would make it could potentially make such a big difference to a run if you for some weapons you really do need a very specific set of hammers to make them run. Like the aspect of Chiron, there are basically 2 good hammers and 1 or 2 okay hammers for that, because you don't really build attack on Chiron. You go all in on special, and that means you want concentrated and relentless volley from the hammer. Piercing volley is like okay because it makes it so you can hit multiple targets with one shot of the special, and it does more damage to armor. But that's about it. And comparing it to concentrated volley, which makes each subsequent hit deal 3 more damage, which when you're getting damage modifiers and hitting 8 times with a single special, even before having relentless volley, which ups the number of shots by 4. We're really hitting diminishing returns now, but getting 10% more dash strike damage sounds like a good deal. All right, so basically we'll be balancing between attack and dash strike here. We'll go ahead and take the Hermes here, I think, because again, we've got our dash chance. Now let's see if we can get anything that either, if not, sets us up for rush delivery with a potential for getting a 3rd Hermes in sticks. At least sets us up for... none of these are great. I mean, I could use this for a defensive tool. I'm not that into it, though, and we definitely don't need auto reload or swift flourish. Although I could make an argument, we could set ourselves up for, what is it, bad news? Because that's this is a prerequisite to bad news, right? Quick reload. Yeah, wait. Auto reload, that's what I mean, yeah. Which would make us do 50% damage more to anyone who doesn't have a cast gem in them. Let's do it. Save our rerolls for Heartrend. That's what we're really looking for in this build. There's no guarantee we're going to see a 3rd Hermes anyway.
I see you regrew your neck.
So, in the most superficial way possible, I've kind of been delving a little bit into Greek mythology just to like better appreciate what's going on. I've also kind of been doing the same thing with other mythologies. Like, I definitely want to play Black Myth Wukong on this channel at some point. It was a game that I saw the trailer for and was like, oh, I want to play this. I want to play this so bad. Like back when it was first announced, and then I'm very happy to see that it ended up becoming like such a top performing game on Steam, which is really exciting because I mean it is not often that we get a game that represents Eastern mythology nearly as often as we get the ones that represent Westerns. Like Norse and Greek mythology is so popular in the Western culture for some reason, and we don't see a lot of representation of Eastern mythologies, I have to say. And like games like Nine Sol and Black Myth Wukong that just kind of masterfully demonstrate those aesthetics. Tao Punk in the case of Nine Sol, and then Black Myth Wukong going more the traditional like Buddhist and Hinduist mythologies. Like I'm very excited to explore those games, and I figure it would make for an excellent channel video as you watch me just like bang my head relentlessly against so many challenges. I'll obviously inevitably have to cut out sections of me failing fundamentally, like right now I'm failing fundamentally at Lerny, which isn't a great look. Alright, I'm going to stop dashing for a second and just focus on damaging. The one downside to Lerny as a whole is just I'm so prone to just kind of diving into his lava pools, especially for dash strike builds. It also would help if this main head just... either of these heads would stop camping the lava a little bit. Oh my goodness, how did that not hit him? Like, corners in this game, man. Alright, you know what? I think I'm going to just drop a Sisyphus if I can break that shield. Okay, come on.
Hey, Boldy.
Boldy, please, please, please. There we go. Okay, good enough. We'll pick up those things later. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and dash in for the food at least. Because we'd rather not lose a Death Defiance here if I can avoid it. I just don't... my special comes out too slow to reliably reflect those projectiles. But now we've got plenty of opportunity for good damage, so we're going to go ahead and toss that. Get a cast gem in him. There we go. Okay, that was a nice clean finish. But not a clean Lernian Hydra at all. Anyway, the tangent I was going on there...
Lovely chatting with you, Lerny.
...was mostly just like... I didn't realize, but the Lernian Hydra... Oh, okay, interesting. The little boat that we take between transitions, you can't walk through it. Like, I'm trying to walk through it and I can't. That's why my attacks weren't going through, because the head was camping behind apparently an impenetrable wall that I couldn't reach over. I call bull hockey, but whatever. Speaking of bull hockey, we're on to Elysium. I'm sure things won't get thrown here. I mean, at this point, we still don't have a fourth god. I'm not going to force a fourth god. I'll take whatever I'm offered at this point. Zeus and Demeter are top tier for me at this point, but I'll take Ares, I'll take Poseidon. I don't really want Ares or Poseidon. Even Dionysus, if I just get, like, strong drink, I'll be happy with that. So then that begs the question of what do we take after that? It goes Sigil of the Dead. I'd love to see Theseus respond to us turning invisible. I think that would be pretty funny. I don't know. Maybe Myrmidon Bracer to take less damage from the front? I think we just take the coin purse, get some extra coin that we can use in the shops. Nothing to sell, anything to buy. Not a single Light of Ixia in this run. No chaos to be seen. They may show up in this next room. They sometimes have a habit of doing so, and then I'm forced to choose. Do I take a second hammer? Do I take a Chaos Gate? And the answer in this case is definitely the hammer.
The fields of Elysium.
Oh, well, there's our second hammer. All right, moment of truth. Do we get double edge? If not, what do we get instead? Like I said, mostly disappointment, I'm sure. I appreciate that you can kite the little flame chariots into walls and get them destroyed. Okay, before I completely tangent myself into oblivion, what I was trying to say in regards to the tangent that led to talking about Black Myth Wukong and such was mainly the fact that so I did like, it's again the most superficial degree of reading, but I delved a little bit into the Herculean legend and didn't even realize it, but the Lernian Hydra is the Hydra that Hercules defeats. So Lerny has a history with Hercules. And that's about all I have to say. There it is, double edge. Your dash strike hits twice and deals an additional 20% damage. We're full build after Heartrend. And here's Artemis to maybe give it to us, because we got her dash strike. We have a chance at getting it. So remember, I have these are witches, and I have a deflect strike, so I don't even need to go and melee you. How did you dodge all of those projectiles I just shot at you? Oh, and well, that was a lot of damage that I did not even remotely need to take. I'm gonna focus on kiting out the chariots first, because they're just a right pain to deal with if I don't. Also need to remember that I have a lot of dashes. I have a lot of dashes. All right, what do we got, Artemis? Duo? 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 Nope. All right, I'm gonna reroll. You know what? Actually, I don't have a lot of high rarity here, so it's a reasonable chance that I wouldn't get it. Could take her cast and lock out or her call and lock out a slot. I think I'll save the call slot for another god. We'll take True Shot. True Shot fills the cast, still allows us to infect people with our cast. I can't get duos through a trial. I don't know if the trial is worth it, but I'm going to take it anyway because it's 2 more boons, and we can't guarantee Artemis showing up in the shop. But here, I can at least get more crit chance or set myself up for something better. Who's worse to deal with? Artemis is easier for me to deal with than Aphrodite, but I think I can deal with Aphrodite. Let's take Artemis first. She'll give us more damage.
Make me mad this time.
Exit wounds or clean kill. 22% more damage on crit we will take. Would have loved to see Hunter's Mark as an alternative, but oh well. So clean kill it is.
Don't ever take me for some thoughtless nymph to be manipulated, dearest. I expect reciprocal devotion from you. Do you understand?
Sorry, that's not the kind of relationship I want with you, Afro. My apologies if that's what you want from me, but I never signed up for that. Alright, I'm gonna drop a Sisyphus here. Need to drop my boldies anyway, just to get the make sure I use them, you know. Oh, those are fakes. Hold on, where's the real Revenant? Where is it? Did I kill it already? I must have killed it already. Okay. Look out! Don't get hit by that. There's the fake, the real Revenant. Ah, shoot! I got clipped by the shield attack, so I couldn't pop it. There we go. I think the Revenants, when they explode, actually hurt themselves as well, or hurt each other as well, which is an interesting decision. Where's the real one? There it is. All right, I think that might. No, we have a bunch of jury summons levels going. There's no way that was the only wave. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Shielders are more manageable than I thought, but I'm so prone to getting hit by their. What's it called? Their little spin strike that they do after they dash. So, and these guys have armor and attack fast. Not an easy combo for me to deal with Aphrodite just kind of zoning me off of them as well. They don't have any projectiles that can easily reflect. They do have projectiles, mind you, but they don't use them often. Oh, you know what? I wonder if Double Edge pierces through enemies, because it seems like I can hit them with it, or hit them through their shields with it. Think maybe? Ooh, yeah, that is. Double Edge is doing work.
Damn it, one's come back.
I had to let him respond. That heart was kind of camping out on him. Okay, there. Oh, I lost a Death Defiance. Oh well. Let's collect the heart so that it doesn't hit me, and then. Ooh, yeah, look at that damage. Ooh, we literally just doubled our damage there. Awesome. Well, sadly, we lost a Death Defiance. We have enough coin that we can probably buy one from the wells.
The truth is, I'm a lover, not a fighter, dearest. So how about we call this matter put to bed and get on with our lives?
If you are a lover and not a fire, why do your core boons all have the highest damage benefit of any other god? All right, your weak effects are more potent. None of these are great. I guess we'll just take Broken Resolve. This trial probably wasn't the most worth it. We'll take the Hydrolite. It's 45 coin, but it'll heal us up nicely.
Why not?
And we'll go for the Palm here. I don't really care about Ares. If that was a legendary or a higher tier Artemis room, I would have been attracted to it. Although I guess maybe what I should do is lock in our fourth god. That way we can guarantee seeing Aphrodite and Artemis more. The game, I've talked about this in previous episodes, but the game kind of tries to force you into taking a fourth god before it starts repeating other gods, at least overall. And so if you want to avoid wasting rooms that could offer you a god, that's probably the way to go. And honestly, you know what? Maybe Ares wouldn't have been the worst option. We could have gotten Urge to Kill. We could have gotten Blood Frenzy. We could have gotten some good damage steroids for us that, like, don't give us core boons or duo potential, but they give us, like, overall damage potential. These butterfly balls, man. Nope. Ah, it respawned. Darn it. Like I said, Elysium is where my sword runs go to die. I just am not nearly as consistent on the sword as I am most any other weapon, frankly. Like, even the spear that I've played so little of, I am way more consistent at for some reason.
The power of Olympus.
All right, another dash strike. Yes, 87% more damage on the dash strike. We will gladly take that. And this Infernal Trove would heal us. We have a Hydrolite, but I think it's still worth taking. As long as...
Get your hands off my trove.
As long as I don't throw a Death Defiance or take more than 58 damage, we're good. Oh, these witches will help a lot because I can use them to deflect into the other enemies and kill these guys really fast. These Void Stones need to go though, because we do not need shields on the enemies I hate killing. All right, this guy has seemed to have gotten stuck in a corner and I couldn't hit him again. That is another reason why I hate the sword.
Useless.
Or I don't hate the sword, but I really don't like playing the sword, is because sometimes hitboxes just don't work the way we expect them to. There's Demeter, a higher tier Demeter. We're going to take her. And it's the butterfly ball. We'll wait for it to dash away, and then we will go ahead and knock it out with Sisyphus. Once its shield's broken, this should pop it immediately. Okay, never mind. But our damage is good enough that it got popped pretty much right after. And look at that! Didn't even get to spawn respawn a assistant.
You tell my Kore, Persephone, that is, the queen. You tell her that her mother sends her warm regards. You tell her that, and you take care of her.
I appreciate that while Demeter knows Persephone by her original birth name, she is trying, even though she's failing a little bit, to use the name that Persephone prefers. I respect that. Okay, so we could take Demeter's call. Let's see, we have Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis, and Demeter. I could wait for Athena's call if we're offered it, because that would give me an extra layer of safety. Alternatively, though, if I take Demeter's aid here, that means I'm less likely going to be offered a call boon by Aphrodite or Artemis when they show up, and that means I'm more likely to be offered something else, which could be their duo, and I think with that in mind, this is the better option. Alright, question, moment of truth. Do we pierce shields with double edge? I'm curious. I think we might, actually. No, we're being blocked. Okay. That's fine. I'm running a backstab kind of build anyway, unintentionally, as it is, but nonetheless. So, we can make it work. Took him out with his own projectile. Feels bad. Alright, give us your next... Yeah, wait. Oh, hey, look. Chaos has finally chosen to grace us with their powers. Do I even accept it at this point? Because, I mean, it makes it a little scarier going into the heroes. We're coming up on the heroes very soon, I imagine. Give me more enemies. Let me kill them all. Did you like that song, Kiwi? I didn't. That was kind of weird. I'm not really a sing-song sort of guy. That's not true. I'm the sort of guy who gets a song stuck in his head, and will go out of his way to make sure it gets stuck in yours. Not intentionally. It's kind of a passive process, but once a song is in my head, it's not coming out no matter how hard I fight it. Until there's a new song to get stuck, I suppose. Where do you think you're going, sir? Good try. Good try. Which one of you is real? Oh, you're all real? What? All right, Afro. Legendary?
Olympus, I accept this message.
Nope. Or, I didn't mean legendary. I meant duo. But actually, thinking on it, how far off are we from your legendary? We are ready to get it. Yeah, we could get it at any point. Okay, good to know. Sweet Surrender. Your weak afflicted foes take 10% more damage. I honestly was considering Life Affirmation, but we don't really need it. I'll be fine. He says, unknowing the torment he's about to suffer. Another Aphrodite room. We'll go ahead and take that and see if we can get lucked in. The fewer boons Aphrodite has, the more likely we are to see the boons that we are looking for. So we'll just keep taking and taking until we have nothing left to take, I suppose. That is the American way, after all. Anyway, let's not get political here, okay? That was kind of in poor taste, let's be honest. Anyway, what can I talk about in the meantime? We are still looking for more boons from... aside from Heartrend, Hunter's Mark would be great. Not taking unnecessarily avoidable damage. I think I still took damage there. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of things. Can I even kill these without taking damage? I don't think I can. Okay. Did we get away with that? I guess they all blew each other up. That's cute. You know, the game heard me complain that I'm not going to enjoy fighting against shielders, and yet here are all of the shielders in, like, one room. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. And they have the, like, if you get close to them, you're going to take damage sort of effect with that little wire that they're connected by. Like, it's only if I touch it, but, like, to get within melee range of them, I'm going to touch it. Let's go ahead and slow them down with Demeter's Call. That'll make them a lot easier to deal with. I wanted to think. I'm still taking far more damage than I would have liked. Sisyphus is carrying us a little bit, keeping us alive, honestly. Like, I don't think Sisyphus's Chthonic Keepsake is the best, honestly. I think there are a lot of instances where you are just... It actually can act against you because the coin and the darkness have hitboxes, and they can block attacks. They can also block the bull's charge, which is really funny. And, oh, you guys, you tricked me. Parting Shot. Your cast gains any bonuses for striking foes from behind. Oh, I guess we'll take it. I don't want it, but it'll at least block out that from being offered again when we're offered a duo. I want the coin, but I don't really need the coin. I think I'm going to take the HP here just for a little extra level of safety. We have taken a lot of damage in Elysium, and in typical fashion, the sword is just my bane. Jeff's bane is the sword. I take 2 more hits and I lose another Death Defiance. I have to be mindful here. That said, in typical fashion, we do have more than enough coin to potentially afford a Death Defiance return from a Well of Charon if it is offered. That's the big if, though, because the last couple times I've needed it, it's been offered, but that doesn't mean it's going to be offered every time, and I need to be mindful of that fact. Kill these Revenants as quick as possible. Whoop! Almost got hit by that, but thankfully it was a projectile, so we reflected it instead. Yeah, I had honestly been kind of wavering between taking Convenience Fee or dropping down a level of Jury Summons to take Convenience Fee instead, because as you're seeing, Jury Summons is the more things you have to fight, the more things are probably going to hit you in the long run. And Convenience Fee, yeah, I can't afford things from the store as easily, but I also am not getting hit by things in the store at any point, other than Charon if I steal from his his allotment of goodies. I'm going to drop this to hopefully slow down enemies enough to not let that happen. Well, there's our second Death Defiance. I'm going to have to be very particular about about how I play Styx out, because there are a lot of enemies in Styx that can wipe me out very quickly, especially if we get the unlucky Styx chambers. Oh my goodness, why is this room so long? It wasn't an enhanced chamber, right? I don't think it was. I need to remember to use my call. That'll help a lot. If these enemies could get hit by it, of course, which they cannot because they have the Void Stone popping shields on them left and right, but there we go. I guess I just have to focus on dashing in and out as much as possible, not getting hit, but also that is my biggest issue with the sword. On top of it, its best source of damage is a huge glass cannon sort of build. It is a high risk, high reward sort of DPS situation because you have to dash to attack. Your dash is your defensive tool, but when you're dash attacking, you do not have nearly as many iframes, if at all. Let's take the palm, see where it lands on. Demeter's Aid, and then Demeter, Stubborn Roots. Honestly, this could save our life, so I'm going to take it. Alternatively, Rare Crop could be funny here, but I don't think we'll get things fully stacked in time. So yeah, we'll take Stubborn Roots. If I have no Death Defiances, I restore 1 HP per second, which realistically speaking is not that much HP. It feels painfully slow to watch, but I should be able to kite things out and kind of play cheesy, but win game, you know?
You!
Me!
Asterius and I shall smite you back into the lowest depths of hell.
If you say so, Theseus. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop here, get some hits on Asterius, and then bail out. Wait till he's done doing his hippity hops, and then go in for some more attacks. All right, some good damage there.
Fiend.
I think that's just how I have to play. Okay, Artemis really wanted me to stab Theseus, I guess. Oh no. All right, here, toss a Demeter on him. Oh dear, I'm getting hit by everything here. Not good.
Are you enjoying yourselves in the stands?
Oh, I thought he was asking me. No, I'm not actually enjoying myself here. Okay, Bull's charging. Oh no. I had multiple dashes. I did not need to get hit by that. I am not sitting pretty here, Kiwi. I am just so inherently terrible at the sword. Like, it's interesting how everyone seems to have, like, the weapon they're good at, and the weapon they are most certainly not good at. And I am not a sword boy. Okay, that time I just spammed dashes because I knew I wasn't gonna let myself get hit. That said, one hit and I am, oh, wow, from downtown, Theseus. Well played. Like, we have damage, but I just can't wield it well. That's the problem here. All right. Asterius is on to phase 2. Wait for his dash or for his attacks to come out and then go in. Just play it safe because he's gonna dash, jump 3 times, go in for the attacks and bail out. I have to play super safe here. I might have to let commentary fall to the waist. Oh, come on. Oh, he got caught on the wall twice and I got hit by it both times. Oh, that's just unfortunate. All right, I might really have to just focus for a second because I'm throwing. Oh, I'm out of Sisyphus. I am out of Sisyphus. That is, this is looking mighty sketchy, Kiwi. We're gonna need some really blessed RNG from Athena to grant us some extra Death Defiances. Honestly, I'd rather, at this point, I might need Athena more than I need Artemis and Aphrodite to grant me their duo. I do have Stubborn Roots. I need to remember that. So I am healing here. I just realized I am healing. And if I didn't get hit by everything, that would have been fine. But I got hit by everything. I'm gonna drop a Demeter Call right in the center to try and slow down the bull.
Foul demon, we shall thwart your each and every trespass.
Bail out. Get some damage on Theseus while I can, and this should finish the bull. Okay. Whew. I'm sweating. I'm definitely sweating a little bit.
One down, one to go.
I need to be careful not to dash in front of Theseus or I'll take a bunch of damage because his chariot has collision on it. He just moves slightly too fast for me. Oh, he turned around. Okay, well, not much I can do about that. Here, have an Artemis cast. Never mind, don't. That's fine. All right, I should have him phase, and once we get him phase, we can burst him down before he even hits us.
You are unfit to walk these hallowed passageways.
All right, get my crit chance up. Make sure I hit him with this so that I get status privilege. Pop Demeter. All right, Zeus we can deal with because he's kind of random, but I have enough dashes to get out of him, or get out of his circles. Bail out of this so I don't get hit, and then go back in, and there we go. Okay. Whew, that was a really rough heroes, and also I have tight deadline on, which means I can't really be I can't be super cheesy with stubborn roots, unfortunately. Okay. I think no matter what, we're taking Lucky Tooth here.
The finest of Elysium all failed to thwart you, eh?
One extra Death Defiance that way. Do we see another one? Oh, God bless. Thank you. Our fates bless, I suppose. We'll definitely take Cyclops Jerky because we need the damage. I don't care about what's in the shop if I, well, I do, sort of, but this is still really sketchy for me. It's like every time I see the sword as the option that Dark Thirst has chosen, I do a small clench in my abdomen of, I don't want to, Mom. It's not the weapon for me. I cannot play this weapon well nearly. Like, you see me pop out the rail, you see me pop out the bow, you pop out the gauntlets, even the spear. I am just way more consistent. There is a third Hermes there. We could potentially get bad news. Let's see. Aphrodite and Artemis are on the table, but I think I don't know, actually know if I think a mini boss would be safer. Let's go ahead and take a mini boss first. Like, this won't set us up for Heartrend necessarily, but it could set us up for a survivability tool that we desperately need. All right, we won't be healing off of Stubborn Roots anymore, but that's fine, honestly. The healing from Stubborn Roots, honestly, Stubborn Roots is in my opinion, one of the worst duo boons in the game, because it does not actually heal you that much at all. I don't know how much it healed us during the Theseus Asterius fight, but I sincerely doubt it was anything terribly meaningful. At least, as long as these enemies don't have armor, I can stagger them and DPS them down very quickly. And then I just have to focus on dodging. I have so many dashes, there's no excuse for getting hit against enemies whose projectiles are so well telegraphed like these ones. Like, we don't have forced overtime on, those lasers aren't instantly coming out, which, let me complain for a moment about the snake stones here. These snake stones with forced overtime max out are not fun. Also, hate that, like, here's another instance where I don't enjoy the sword, because you have to go close range to hit these enemies that just leave pools of poison on themselves that you can't hit them through without, like, either timing your dashes perfectly or just having to get hit. Well, obviously you can kite them out and make it so that that's a reason for not getting hit, but still, like, if you're trying to be as quick as possible, you're eating poison damage.
And Father thinks my chambers are a mess.
Ah, shoot. I thought I dodged that. I remember, I have projectile blocking potential here. I need to remember that. I'm just going to deal with damage I can to things while I'm near them. Oh, goodness. Bailout. Alright, I think I can just stagger lock this guy now. Sort of getting the timing, but still don't have it quite right. Oop, bail out of that. Demeter for status privilege, and there we go. Where are the little rats? Oh, they'll get popped by Demeter. Alright, 1 Death Defiance for Jeff. Last stand, okay. Yeah, we're taking that. We are taking that. Last stand, Death Defiance restores more HP than usual and replenishes 1 use. 12% increased heal from Death Defiance. But more importantly, we are back to 3 Death Defiances. I'm probably more than fine now. Let's take this Hermes.
Don't spend it all on
Quick favor, God Gauge charges up faster. I don't think I'm going to waste rerolls on Hermes here. Oh, but bad news. We could get bad news. That's almost worth rerolling for. We have 2 chances to get Heartrend here, so I do think I'll reroll once per god. That's how we'll play it. So I'm gonna reroll once here and see if we can get bad news.
Not what I need right now.
Nope. Okay. Greater evasion. Let's take some survivability. Greater haste is cool, but without rush delivery, it's not that cool. And I may as well buy the Demeter here.
Just what I need.
Snowburst. Every time you cast, you chill foes around you. It'll at least make it a little bit easier to potentially get a what's it called? A status privilege going. Not that it's very hard at all, because we just use our special and we're good. But my thought process right now is I'm going to take Aphrodite first, because I have more to gain from Artemis's regular boons than I do from Aphrodite's. Aphrodite's is basically, if I don't get Heartrend, I really don't care about anything she offers us, aside from maybe Life Affirmation, but we're not getting any bonus HP. I see the pot shining behind that pillar. Oh well. Whereas with, oh, hold on. Whereas with Artemis, pressure points. We have Hunter's Mark. We have, I don't really care about her legendary, so that's off the table, but I don't even think we have, we aren't even set up to get her legendary, but yeah, pressure points, Hunter's Mark, those are the big 2. Like, those would be potential huge DPS ups for us. Tidebreaker's kind of okay, because it'll make us clear through enemies with armor faster, which will be very helpful against the first phase of Hades. Unfortunately, we are not seeing the 2-chamber sticks, but we were planning on potentially going for Artemis anyway, so I guess that's fine. Just try and only have to fight one thing at a time is really my goal here. Thankfully, the special hit that enough to reflect its projectiles back at it. I wasn't sure I was getting out of that without taking a damage. Bailing out behind the wall so I don't get hit by the attacks, and then going back in for more dash strikes. All right. Whoop, hold on. Let's not get hit by that. Oh, here come the satyrs. All right, focus down the satyrs first because they are the bigger threats. The rats are annoying, and the guillotines are deadly, but they aren't my biggest issues. Here, toss out a Demeter so I can deal with them from a distance. Oh, good, another satyr. And other projectile spammers that are less threatening. All right, these rats are a bit of a problem because they're just making an entire nope zone for this. Here, we'll drop a Demeter and we'll go deal with whatever was shooting projectiles over this way. Is it still here? All right, maybe it doesn't exist anymore. All right, good. They kind of followed me out so I can get a chance to damage them. Here, drop another Demeter. Pop that rat. Okay, good. When the rat dies, its poison on the ground seems to despawn.
Hi, Aphrodite.
Duo, no duo. Okay. We'll take different league. That'll make us take 10% less damage when we're near enemies, and we're always near enemies to DPS, so worth it. All right, Artemis, you are our final hope.
I'm back.
Are we gonna see Heartrend at the end of all of this struggle? Just watch her say nope. Again, prioritizing satyrs because if anything's gonna damage me here, it's gonna be them. Take that gold pot since I saw it. The rat was trying to off itself with the guillotine anyway, so it took pity on us. All right. At least I don't have to panic nearly as much as I thought I did. Unless I get long, narrow corridors versus snake stones, not a good combo for Jeff to avoid damage, especially if we were running on forced overtime. Thankfully, we are not. All right, Artemis, will you please take pity on us, and if not, give us your duo, at least... I forgot to reroll on Aphrodite. Okay, in my defense, I never have rerolls left over in sticks, so I'm just not used to having the option to reroll here, but that was a mistake. We'll buy the HP, we'll buy the Cyclops Jerky, because we'll probably get to use it soon enough. And it'll make us clear this room if it's not a Satyr Sack. It'll let us clear the room much faster. We are hitting multiple 500s in a row, though, so we're doing like 1,000 damage an attack. I really just am frustrated by the existence of these rats doing this. Exactly this. This is what I hate most. Because you can't reflect their poison. You can reflect most projectiles, but things that end up on the ground aren't counted. Oh my goodness. Not only are we having terrible RNG with boons and terrible RNG with... well, with boons, we're having terrible RNG with sticks again. Is this going to be another 4-chamber sticks? Or 5-chamber sticks? I really hope not. But the game is hearing me complain about enemy types and being like, oh, you don't like this? Well, that sure stinks. Here, let's get you used to it. You know, the best way to learn to deal with things you dislike is to force you to eat them over and over again. You hate this specific taste of food? Well, why don't you keep eating it until you're sick to the stomach, and then you'll get a taste for it. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Yeah, I might get better, but that doesn't mean I will like it. It may mean that I get desensitized to the taste, but that doesn't mean I like eating it. And even then, I mean, if you want me to throw up on your kitchen table, by all means, force me to eat the food. Well, this is some weird unpacking that I am doing right now. I think in some instances, desensitization works. Particularly around things that potentially stress you or, like, I don't know. Like, it's such a delicate balance. You shouldn't force yourself into doing something that you know will hurt you. Sometimes, if you want to gain a tolerance for it, maybe do it on, like, gentle terms, for lack of a better way of describing it. But, like, never force yourself into doing something you hate for the sake of trying to like it. Because that's just going to make you hate it more. On the other hand, Heartrend, 150% more damage on crits to any weakened foes. There is our damage. All right, then I don't really care what I take next. We've got all we need, so we'll go for the HP here and pray that we are getting a 4-chamber sticks at least, and not a 5-chamber sticks. We'll hunt for Wells of Charon and hopefully heal off of them if we can find them. Otherwise, our Cyclops Jerky... Unfortunately, I think our Cyclops Jerky is going to run out before we get to Hades, which really stinks, because that 40% extra damage is, well, it's 40% extra damage. Why wouldn't I want that? Can we stop missing attacks that are clearly hitting the enemy just because they are around like 2 pixels of a corner. That's getting really old really fast. Oh, hey, another Well of Charon. Excellent. So I guess I can use my last 2 rerolls on that since I don't have anything else to reroll anyway. And we'll see how many more attack buffs they can give us. I hate these enemies, Kiwi. Oh, actually, I just remembered. We have a tight deadline, and we've only got 4 minutes. So you know what? We're not having a great time. Let's see. HP coin. We'll take this one. That's 1,000 damage on Hades. That's worth it. So we got another Sisyphus call. Hydrolite may as well. We'll just take all of these since we can't reroll any further. So restore 10% when you enter a chamber will heal us up a bit. Your special deals 40% more damage, and we have more God Gauge. We still have 242 coin, which means we can buy some of the palms in the shop and sticks. Oh, thank goodness. If we had gotten the unlucky 5-chamber sticks, I genuinely think I might not have been able to make the kill. I don't know if I would have been able to kill Hades before tight deadline kills us. All right, final thing. Let's see. We'll go ahead and take the extra 5% damage on our attack. That is a level 7 epic Aphrodite attack.
Briefly, Cerberus concludes that yes, he shall accept the sack.
All right, so we're about to see what the full potential of Heartrend here. We actually still have 1 encounter's worth of Cyclops jerky, so we do have the 40% attack buff. So we're about as strong as we could hope to be without rush delivery on the Nemesis sword. Obviously, there are other things like the Ares boon that increases your attack stat or your attack damage by a minimum of 10%.
Crisp, cold air.
That would have been pretty good here too, but honestly, I'm thankful for Demeter because she'll make enemies easier to deal with.
It seems our realm has many weaknesses. I shall deal with them shortly then.
I hope you're not implying that we are a weakness. I think we are our greatest strength because we know if anyone ever tries to break in, we'll know how to stop them. Actually, that's not true if we're going by Hades 2 lore, but let's not talk about Hades 2 more than we have to here. No spoilers from Jeff if you can avoid them. Alright, I think I can, if I focus on just timing my dashes right, I don't need to take damage against Hades.
And fight once more upon the surface realm where you were slain.
Ooh, these dash strikes are meaty. Dash. Ooh, almost got hit by that. Alright, I'm not going to say we're going to take no damage on Hades with the sword, but it would be really cool if we did. Here, have it, Demeter. Bail out. I mean, if we're going to keep slowing him, like, there it is again. It's right in, it's in a corner, so I can't hit it. I hate it. I hate that. Because it feels like it's not my fault that I can't hit like that. I'm just going to try and take these out while I'm waiting for Hades to reappear. I really don't need to focus these down. I can just focus on dealing damage to him and getting him through his phases. Kill what I can and dodge the rest. Slow these guys down and focus on them for a second. Like, we're doing a lot of damage. We're definitely doing a lot of damage. Popping their armor in like one hit. Oh, there's our hit. Okay. Well, it was a fun thought to think we could kill Hades without taking damage, and we made a good showing of it. We almost made it through the entire first phase without taking damage. And that's on the sword, mind you, like the weapon that I am always prone to taking hits on. Maybe it's just I need to change my brainwaves and think about how I play this weapon a bit differently. Oh, he's gonna dash right out of this, isn't he? Oh, no, he's not. Okay, thank you. Was that your doing, Poseidon? What? I didn't know Poseidon was the god of the boulders. I mean, Sisyphus isn't a god either. What was that? What was that accident? Well, that was an accident, that was for sure. All right, Dad, we'll just dash about you. I got clipped by the pot. Those pots hurt so much if you have, what is it? Heightened security, the boon that makes you take more damage from traps. All right, we're gonna take these coins so that they're not blocking our attacks, because apparently they can with the sword. You know, the little floating coin blocks an entire sword from or an entire attack from a sword as long as my entire body. Sure, why not, game? All right, here, have a Demeter. Get real slow. You toss your cast gem into the untouchable zone again. All right, we can... The issue with the sword here is that it moves us when we strike, so I actually had to be like very careful about how many times I struck there. But okay, this was like the easiest Hades fight with the sword. I'm not even at risk of death here. And look at her damage, honestly. We're like rapid fire 500s, which is pretty awesome. All right, look, I know that Nemesis is the speedrunner sword. It is the strongest sword by far, but it's still a sword, and I'm not good at swords.
Boy, You speak none of this to anyone.
I am lamenting.
Done, boy.
I am lamenting the grind up to 32 bounties with the sword. It's gonna be rough. But
By my father's name.
regardless, we got our win. We got our win. All right, let's see how we're gonna honor this. Shadow Slash probably isn't the breadwinner here, but Double Edge definitely is. So let's start off by saying, okay, we took the aspect of Nemesis and we took Heartbreak Strike. We got Heartrend. We got these duos were literally useless to us. Double Edge is definitely going on there. I just think it has to be at the bottom because it's the lowest tier of rarity. Greatest Reflex, sure. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Or honestly, maybe both of these. Honestly, I think both of these kind of carried the run. They did a lot of damage. There we go. Hey, look at our win streak. Nice, 69. All right, that sounded very fake. Hey, look, a fish. You know, I may have forgotten. I'm pretty sure a fishing spot showed up in the last episode, and I may have forgotten to collect from it, which is a big oops on my end. But there we go, another sword run complete. I definitely didn't sweat at all.
Horned creatures are familiar to Zagreus, having fought countless satyrs and the like. But he discovers this time that not even satyrs possess the sheer, ferocious power of a startled mountain goat.
Having worked with some goats on a farm, they are scarily strong. Like you think they're small, like yeah, they're small so you can use their weight against them a little bit more easily than say a horse that is just a giant walking sentient wad of muscle.
Well, that was interesting.
18 ribs, giant lungs that are most of its body. Like if a cow is mostly stomach, a horse is mostly lungs and then muscle everywhere else.
Thanks for dying. Nice to see you here again.
Good seeing you too, Hypnos. It's just don't mess with goats if you're not ready to get the horns.
Hi, we'll have to catch up in the lounge sometime, huh, Prince?
You know what? Isn't that a phrase? Mess with the bull and you get the horns. It's really, you know, it applies to goats too.
Our security efforts in Asphodel are evidently lacking.
Yeah, you should give some extra rooms to Asphodel so I can find more, find some more boons.
Cerberus goes about his business, gnawing in this case.
Aggressively licking a spot on the floor.
To eat lately, haven't you, boy?
All right, let's give Cerberus his good luck pets for the next run. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Elysium. Elysium is definitely the hardest floor out of everything, I would say. The satyrs are annoying, but you can kite them well enough. In 6 specifically.
Day or night, I guess, is going nicely, Zagreus.
Orpheus, we have a sundial. You should know what time it is. Here, I'll go tell you. Let's see what time it is. Oh, I forgot. I don't have all the dashes anymore.
It's 48 past 7.
Okay, it's 7:48. But wait, is that morning or night? That does. Oh my goodness! I just realized that doesn't actually tell us what time of day it is.
Deucey, you did it.
Unless they're using like army time. Chthonic keys for darkness, not worth it.
Taking a break from putting up with Electo out there.
She seems like a lot, Meg. I agree. All right, let's see what we got from the chef. Skill of Scion base. Bass goes for gems and a ambrosia. Cool.
Market value.
We're not really looking for Titan blood anymore, so I think ambrosia is more valuable to us. Actually, you know what? This is a long enough episode anyway. Why don't we go ahead and finally buy out all the levels of the Chthonic keepsakes? No harm in not doing that at this point.
How's it going?
All right. Companion more, or maybe you know what I'll do. I will, for the next 3 runs, I will use the 3 or the 4. For the next 4 runs, I will use the Chthonic keepsakes that I have not used, so we can see what they're like, and then jointly decide that Shady and what is it? More? Where is it? I don't actually. Oh, Batty. Duh, Batty. I'm like companion battle, but what's its name? I'll use those and see who's the best. I'll get a sense of them. Ooh, gauntlets. Never mind. I have a plan. Kiwi, look forward to the next episode because it's going to be a silly one.
Less yak and more smacking, boyo. Now come on.
But with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you are awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode for some more Hades fun. Look forward to the next one. It's going to be a doozy.
I am slain.